How's everybody doing? So I'm actually working on the barge slip here. I'm going to test this switcher. I haven't actually, excuse me, let's fire it up. I haven't actually run, I'll talk to you about what I'm doing here, but I haven't actually run this locomotive. So you're seeing the first inaugural run down the barge ramp here with 153. So this was all painted and I never stripped the paint off yet. I sort of basically finished the bridge. There's some minor stuff, well, the barge slip in this case, but I never stripped the paint off yet, so I'm not cleaning the truck. I'm actually stripping the paint off. I'll talk to you about that in a second, but I'm just testing this one I just did. Oh, there goes 122 on its own down there. Oh, I know why. I still got him on consist mode, that's why. You see her moving down there. She'll probably back up now. I forgot to, yeah, see? She's backing up. I forgot to delete the consist. That's how you can run two locomotives at different directions and different locations on your layout if you want. Well, that seems to run pretty good. So yeah, so the barge slip, right? Section 1 right here. Couple things. So I'm actually stripping the paint. I'm masking off the rail because I don't want to strip the paint off. I did all this hard work, as you know, for those that have been following the channel from the very beginning of vlog 1 on River Road. This was the first component model that I built. And so when I painted the whole deck with the airbrush by hand, I was really in a zone, I guess. Sometimes I look at it and shake my head. I don't know how I did it sometimes, but I was just in a place at a certain time where all the stars are in alignment, I guess. But so I flat coated it with 2 or 3 heavy coats of Tamiya, and it's dried for over a year, right? Or cured, actually, in this case. And I'll tell you right now that I do re-rail cars on this all the time, and there's no ill effects, like no wear and tear. In fact, I was using this abrasive eraser on the first part, and it wouldn't even remove the paint. Like on the edges, I was focusing on the rail, but I didn't want to take any chances, so I'm just masking it off and basically using this to just to strip the paint off the top of the rail, because I want to activate the barge set for operations now. I want to, do some practice runs on it and get it ready, because next spring, well, I'm going to be working on the tug soon. I got it out on my bench, actually. I was looking at it last night, going through all the parts and trying to get my head around it, because when you know how you work on a model and then you put it down for a while and you sort of have to reset and kind of go, okay, where was I here, and get back into the momentum of the thing. And I don't want to do that just yet, because there's a few other little projects I'm finishing, like a lot of little details. So this little abrasive eraser, most people are familiar with, works really well. Yeah, it leaves a little bit of texture on the railhead, but I don't buy into any of the snake oil for track cleaning. I just don't. I've been in this game too long. I just don't buy it, right? There's no, in fact, I know it's a hot debate and there's a lot of opinions around it. Like, someone will show you some oil that you put on the track, and they'll put it on their track, they'll get excited and tell everybody, but I think it's still placebo to them. I think that the track was running pretty good anyway. They cleaned it, they put it on, and they think it runs better. But in reality, it doesn't really run better at all. It just, it starts to cause other issues. Like, I tried that oil stuff years ago on an N-scale layout, and I regretted it. It just ruined my track. Like, the oil got on the flat, big oil stains, and just ugliness. Ugliness in the, all the lint and hairs that it was just a nightmare. I swear I'd never use that again. And I've seen people talk about it. I'm not going to mention the names of it. And as far as I go, you got a clean track, right? You can't get around it. if you're in this hobby long enough, ask any veteran model railroader that has a big layout, right? And they'll all tell you their stories. And the reality is you have to have a track cleaning crew. It's just the way it is, right? So you don't have to clean it like this what I'm doing, because this is paint. This paint's almost 2 years old. I could use IPA to take it off, but I don't want to risk cutting through my clear coat. So once this is done, I could just use a piece of bamboo or oak, like use a small oak dowel. I just push it along the top and it cleans it really good. And the funny thing is back here on the brewery run, I haven't really had to clean the track back there. And I've been running on there all the time. Isn't that interesting? So I think the more you run your trains, the better the track stays. Oh, and then one other thing I want to say too, before I go on to just a couple of other minor things. I think the best deterrent to oxidization on a track is, in my opinion, is climate control. So this is a room that's always around the same temperature all year. There's no moisture. I mean, there is humidity if I open windows, but if you're in a shed or a big barn or big building and it's large swings of temperature and humidity, that's going to cause oxidization on your track no matter what. It doesn't matter what you put on it. And I don't think you're ever going to get away from it. And I think you just have to accept it, because the real railroads have to do track maintenance. So why shouldn't we? You know what I mean? So the model railroad's kind of a metaphor for the real world railroad. Like, you just have to work on it. Like I decided to work on the railroad tonight. Like, I know that when I built this barge slip, I got most of it done. Like, I also built these here too, right? Like, here's the stanchions. I don't know if I mentioned these, but they're done and painted. I haven't weathered them yet. But these basically go down here. See, there's these extended ties here. Can you see those? And then they go, there's one there, and then there's one here. And then there's brass square poles, because the prototype are. Okay? And they go in, they're drilled through on the bottom. I'll just drill a hole for the LED wires, and then there's basically 3 big lamp standards on each side that light up the hole. Because I'm starting to do a bit of wiring too with buildings, like I did the signal right here. And lights are a must on a model railroad, eh? But you get around to them, right? Like, things take time. So in the spring, I'm going to be starting the ferry sometime, maybe late spring. I already got the main plate cut out for that, but I don't have a table saw right now. It's all locked up in the shed and the weather's really sucks. So I do all my wood cutting and dust creating outside. So I'll be doing that. The tugboat I'll be starting probably after Christmas sometime, because I've already sort of rehearsed it last night and got over everything and re-familiarized myself with the parts and the build and everything, and I'm quite excited about that. But everything has its place in the build queue. But right now I'm cleaning this track, and it's coming off really easy, and I'm quite happy about that. And I'm really happy with the way the paint hardened up too. Like, any acrylic paint is like that if you give it time to cure. It's super durable, right? So yeah, so that's what I'm doing right now. I want to get this cleaned up so I can operate on it. And then I got Blue Point switch machines I'm going to be putting in. Like, just manual for now, but with power routing. Even though I can run my switches without, like, over dead frogs, I'm going to put power routing anyway, because whenever you have 6 axles, or depending on the wheelbase, you can run into problems. Some people say, oh, 6 axles, better conductivity. I don't always agree. This switcher right here, I'll just flip back over to it again, recall, let's see, reverse. This switcher, it never stalls. I was running it just down the center here. I cleaned it roughly and it ran no problem. It runs through the buried track, no problem. I mean, the buried track's really good now. I've had to tweak a few things, but this locomotive here runs better than any locomotive I've ever owned. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. working on the railroad. Get on that railroad, clean that track, take care of those little details that we've all been neglecting in the dark corners of our layout, right? Okay, we'll see you on the next one, and cheers, happy modeling, and have a great day.